The movie set that left everyone smiling. Long before audiences will see the finished Michael film on the big screen, something remarkable was already happening behind the cameras. According to the transcript, despite the enormous pressure of recreating the life of one of the most famous entertainers in history, the atmosphere on set was often filled with laughter, encouragement, and genuine excitement. Cast members, choreographers, makeup artists, and crew were working on one of Hollywood's most ambitious musical biopics. Yet many of the most memorable moments happened when the cameras weren't rolling. Rather than a tense production defined only by perfection, the source describes a set where unexpected moments of humor frequently reminded everyone that filmmaking is also about teamwork, trust, and shared passion. One of the transcript's most memorable behind-the-scenes stories centers on a light-hearted rehearsal involving Jaafar Jackson, the actors portraying Catherine and Joe Jackson, and a chimpanzee portraying Michael's famous companion, Bubbles. During what was intended to be a serious practice session, the chimp reportedly copied one of Jaafar's facial expressions, catching everyone completely off guard. According to the transcript, the unexpected imitation sent the cast and crew into uncontrollable laughter, forcing filming to pause for several minutes. While the source also notes that the exact details of the story have not been officially confirmed, it presents the moment as a perfect example of the relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere that often developed between takes. Even during an emotionally demanding production, spontaneous moments like these helped bring the cast together and created memories that extended far beyond the finished scenes audiences will eventually watch. The transcript suggests that these lighter moments played an important role throughout production. Recreating Michael Jackson's life required extraordinary attention to detail, intense dance rehearsals, emotional performances, and constant pressure to satisfy both longtime fans and the Jackson family. Yet between rehearsals and major filming sequences, laughter frequently became a welcome release from that responsibility. According to the source, these candid interactions revealed another side of the production, one rarely seen by the public. Behind the elaborate costumes, carefully reconstructed concert stages, and dramatic performances was a group of people working together to honor Michael's legacy while supporting one another through an exceptionally demanding project. As the documentary continues, attention turns to the man carrying perhaps the greatest responsibility of all. In the next chapter, we explore how Jaafar Jackson transformed himself into one of the most iconic performers in entertainment history, and why his preparation amazed nearly everyone who witnessed it. The funniest moments nobody expected. From the outside, the making of the Michael biopic looked like one of the most demanding productions in recent Hollywood history. Every dance move, vocal performance, and costume had to recreate moments that millions of fans already knew by heart. Yet, according to the transcript, some of the most unforgettable memories weren't captured in the finished film at all. They happened during rehearsals, costume fittings, and quiet moments between takes when the pressure briefly disappeared. The source describes a production where laughter became just as common as intense concentration, reminding everyone that even while recreating history, unexpected moments could completely change the mood on set. One story in particular stood out among the behind-the-scenes moments. During a rehearsal featuring Jaafar Jackson alongside the actors portraying Catherine and Joe Jackson, a chimpanzee playing Bubbles unexpectedly became the center of attention. According to the transcript, the animal suddenly copied one of Jaafar's facial expressions, catching everyone completely by surprise. What had been planned as a serious rehearsal instantly turned into a burst of laughter. The source explains that the cast and crew reportedly laughed so hard that filming had to pause for several minutes. While it also notes that the exact details behind the story have not been officially confirmed, the moment has become one of the most talked about examples of the warm and relaxed atmosphere shared by many members of the production team. The transcript suggests that moments like these became especially valuable because of the enormous pressure surrounding the film. Jaafar Jackson was preparing for his first feature film role while portraying one of the most celebrated performers in entertainment history. Choreographers, makeup artists, camera operators, and actors all carried the responsibility of meeting exceptionally high expectations. According to the source, those spontaneous moments of humor helped relieve tension and strengthened relationships throughout the production. Instead of remembering only the demanding rehearsal schedules and long filming days, many cast members also shared memories filled with smiles and genuine enjoyment. The documentary argues that these unscripted moments reveal something important about filmmaking itself. Behind every carefully choreographed scene is a team of people whose personalities, friendships, and shared experiences help shape the final performance. As the next chapter reveals, there were also moments when the cast became so immersed in their performances that the boundary between acting and reality seemed to disappear, creating unforgettable experiences for everyone on set, when the cast forgot they were filming. As production moved deeper into filming, the transcript suggests that something remarkable began happening on set. The more time the cast spent recreating Michael Jackson's life, the easier it became to forget they were acting at all. Elaborate recreations of concerts, family homes, recording sessions, and private moments gradually transformed the production into something that felt less like a movie set and more like stepping back into history. According to the source, this effect was especially noticeable whenever Jaafar Jackson fully embodied his uncle's movements, posture, and soft-spoken manner. Crew members who had spent years studying Michael's performances reportedly found themselves reacting emotionally because the resemblance became so convincing during filming. The transcript explains that much of this realism came from Jaafar's extraordinary preparation before principal photography even began. Rather than relying only on archived videos and concert footage, he immersed himself in Michael's personal world by spending time at the Jackson family home in Havenhurst. According to the source, he surrounded himself with family memories, private spaces, handwritten materials, and historical references that helped him understand not only how Michael performed, but how he thought and lived. The production also brought in choreographers who had worked directly with Michael during his career, ensuring that every movement reflected the style audiences remembered. As rehearsals progressed, the transcript suggests that Jaafar's growing confidence made interactions with fellow actors feel increasingly natural, allowing emotional scenes to unfold with remarkable authenticity. According to the transcript, this atmosphere affected more than just the actors. Makeup artists, camera operators, choreographers, and longtime members of the production team frequently witnessed moments that reminded them of Michael himself. The documentary does not suggest that anyone believed they were watching Michael return, but rather that Jaafar's dedication helped create an environment where the character felt genuinely present during filming. That authenticity, the source argues, became one of the production's greatest strengths. It allowed the cast to respond naturally to one another instead of constantly thinking about cameras, marks, or technical details. For brief moments, they were no longer simply performers recreating famous scenes. They were participants inside a story that felt remarkably alive. As the documentary continues, however, even this immersive atmosphere could not erase the enormous physical demands placed on the cast. In the next chapter, we explore how the relentless rehearsal schedule pushed everyone to their limits, while still finding reasons to laugh along the way. The crew couldn't stop laughing. Behind every spectacular performance in the Michael biopic was an enormous amount of discipline. According to the transcript, Jaafar Jackson spent months preparing for the role through demanding dance rehearsals, vocal training, and intensive character study. Every movement had to reflect the precision that audiences associated with Michael Jackson. Yet despite this relentless schedule, the production was not defined only by hard work. The source explains that moments of humor frequently emerged between rehearsals, helping the cast and crew relax after hours of physically and emotionally demanding work. These spontaneous interactions became an important part of the production's atmosphere, reminding everyone that even the most ambitious films are built by people enjoying the creative process together. The transcript describes how unexpected events regularly interrupted even the most carefully planned filming days. While everyone remained focused on recreating Michael's life with authenticity, small surprises often changed the mood in an instant. Crew members found themselves laughing at unscripted reactions, playful exchanges between actors, and lighthearted moments that unfolded naturally while cameras were being reset or scenes were being rehearsed. According to the source, one of the production's most memorable examples involved a chimpanzee portraying Bubbles, whose unexpected imitation of Jaafar Jackson's facial expression reportedly left the entire set laughing so hard that filming briefly came to a halt. Although the transcript notes that the exact details of the incident have not been officially confirmed, it presents the story as reflecting the warm and supportive environment shared by many members of the production. Looking back, the transcript suggests that these moments of laughter served a purpose beyond simple entertainment. Recreating Michael Jackson's legendary performances demanded extraordinary concentration, and the emotional weight of portraying real people could become overwhelming. According to the source, brief moments of humor helped relieve that pressure, allowing cast and crew to return to demanding scenes with renewed energy and focus. In many ways, those unscripted memories became just as meaningful as the carefully choreographed sequences audiences will eventually see on screen. They revealed the human side of filmmaking, where friendships are formed, challenges are shared, and even the most serious productions leave room for genuine joy. As the documentary continues, attention shifts back to the extraordinary work itself. In the next chapter, we explore the painstaking effort required to recreate Michael Jackson's most iconic performances and why every dance move demanded absolute perfection before the cameras could roll. The crew couldn't stop laughing. Behind every spectacular performance in the Michael biopic was an enormous amount of discipline. According to the transcript, Jaafar Jackson spent months preparing for the role through demanding dance rehearsals, vocal training, and intensive character study. Every movement had to reflect the precision that audiences associated with Michael Jackson. Yet despite this relentless schedule, the production was not defined only by hard work. The source explains that moments of humor frequently emerged between rehearsals, helping the cast and crew relax after hours of physically and emotionally demanding work. These spontaneous interactions became an important part of the production's atmosphere, reminding everyone that even the most ambitious films are built by people enjoying the creative process together. The transcript describes how unexpected events regularly interrupted even the most carefully planned filming days. While everyone remained focused on recreating Michael's life with authenticity, small surprises often changed the mood in an instant. Crew members found themselves laughing at unscripted reactions, playful exchanges between actors, and lighthearted moments that unfolded naturally while cameras were being reset or scenes were being rehearsed. According to the source, one of the production's most memorable examples involved a chimpanzee portraying Bubbles, whose unexpected imitation of Jaafar Jackson's facial expression reportedly left the entire set laughing so hard that filming briefly came to a halt. Although the transcript notes that the exact details of the incident have not been officially confirmed, it presents the story as reflecting the warm and supportive environment shared by many members of the production. Looking back, the transcript suggests that these moments of laughter served a purpose beyond simple entertainment. Recreating Michael Jackson's legendary performances demanded extraordinary concentration, and the emotional weight of portraying real people could become overwhelming. According to the source, brief moments of humor helped relieve that pressure, allowing cast and crew to return to demanding scenes with renewed energy and focus. In many ways, those unscripted memories became just as meaningful as the carefully choreographed sequences audiences will eventually see on screen. They revealed the human side of filmmaking, where friendships are formed, challenges are shared, and even the most serious productions leave room for genuine joy. As the documentary continues, attention shifts back to the extraordinary work itself. In the next chapter, we explore the painstaking effort required to recreate Michael Jackson's most iconic performances and why every dance move demanded absolute perfection before the cameras could roll. Recreating Michael Jackson's performances was never going to be as simple as learning choreography. According to the transcript, every movement, every pause, every gesture, and every expression had to feel authentic because audiences around the world knew these performances almost frame by frame. The production team understood that fans wouldn't simply compare the finished film to other musical biopics. They would compare it to Michael himself. As a result, rehearsals became one of the most demanding parts of the entire production. The source explains that Jaafar Jackson and the creative team devoted countless hours to studying concert footage, rehearsal videos, and Michael's distinctive performance style, working to capture not only the famous dance moves, but also the confidence, precision, and stage presence that made him unlike any other entertainer. According to the transcript, authenticity remained the guiding principle throughout this process. Choreographers with first-hand knowledge of Michael's work helped ensure that performances reflected the smallest details of his movements. Rather than creating simplified versions of iconic routines, the production aimed to recreate them as faithfully as possible. The source describes long rehearsal sessions, where sequences were repeated again and again until everyone was satisfied that the timing, rhythm, and body language matched Michael's original performances. For Jaafar, this preparation extended beyond physical technique. The transcript explains that he worked to understand Michael's mindset before stepping onto the stage, believing that emotional authenticity was just as important as technical accuracy. The goal was not merely to imitate Michael's dance moves, but to communicate the same energy and connection that audiences experienced during his live performances. The transcript suggests that this extraordinary attention to detail became one of the defining characteristics of the production. Every successful rehearsal represented the combined effort of actors, choreographers, costume designers, camera operators, and countless crew members working toward a single vision. According to the source, the demanding process also strengthened the sense of teamwork across the set. Each completed sequence brought the cast one step closer to recreating some of the most celebrated moments in entertainment history. While the finished performances will eventually appear effortless on screen, the documentary reveals that they were built through months of discipline, patience, and relentless practice behind the scenes. As the next chapter explores, however, the story of the Michael biopic extends beyond choreography alone. Behind the cameras, another powerful element shaped the production, a close-knit atmosphere that made many cast and crew members feel less like co-workers and more like family. Behind the cameras, the family atmosphere. While audiences will eventually judge the Michael biopic by what appears on screen, the transcript suggests that one of the production's greatest strengths developed away from the cameras. According to the source, as filming progressed, the cast and crew gradually formed an atmosphere that felt remarkably close-knit. Long rehearsal days, demanding filming schedules, and months spent recreating pivotal moments from Michael Jackson's life naturally brought people together. Rather than working as separate departments, actors, choreographers, costume designers, makeup artists, camera operators, and production staff learned to rely on one another through every stage of the filmmaking process. The transcript describes this growing sense of teamwork as an essential ingredient in maintaining both morale and authenticity throughout one of Hollywood's most ambitious musical productions. According to the transcript, that atmosphere became especially meaningful because of the responsibility everyone shared. Bringing Michael Jackson's story to life carried enormous expectations from fans around the world, as well as from members of the Jackson family themselves. Every rehearsal, costume fitting, and emotional scene reminded the production team that they were not simply making another film, they were portraying the life of one of the most influential entertainers in history. The source explains that this shared responsibility encouraged mutual respect across the set. Experienced crew members supported younger actors, while cast members celebrated one another's progress during rehearsals. Even during the most demanding production days, moments of encouragement and humor helped create an environment where everyone felt invested in the same goal, honoring Michael's legacy with care and authenticity. Looking back, the transcript suggests that this family atmosphere became one of the production's defining characteristics. It was reflected not only in the laughter shared between takes, but also in the willingness of everyone involved to help one another overcome challenges. According to the source, those relationships strengthened the performances audiences will eventually see on screen because trust developed naturally over months of working together. Instead of feeling like individual performers completing separate tasks, the cast and crew became part of a unified creative team dedicated to telling Michael Jackson's story with sincerity and respect. As the documentary continues, however, viewers will discover that even this supportive environment could not eliminate every obstacle. Behind every finished scene were unexpected challenges, technical setbacks, and demanding moments that tested everyone's patience and determination. Those hidden struggles become the focus of the next chapter. The challenges hidden behind every scene. When audiences eventually watch the finished Michael biopic, many of the most difficult parts of its creation will remain invisible. According to the transcript, every polished performance on screen represents months of preparation, repeated rehearsals, technical adjustments, and countless retakes behind the cameras. The production was not simply recreating fictional events, it was rebuilding some of the most iconic moments in music history with a level of accuracy that fans would immediately recognize. The source explains that this responsibility placed enormous pressure on every department. Costume designers worked to reproduce legendary outfits, choreographers refined every movement, and camera crews carefully recreated the visual style of different eras of Michael Jackson's career. Even the smallest details were examined repeatedly because everyone understood that audiences would notice even minor differences. According to the transcript, one of the greatest challenges involved balancing authenticity with the practical realities of filmmaking. Large-scale performance sequences required hundreds of extras, complex lighting setups, moving cameras, elaborate costumes, and carefully synchronized choreography. If one element was out of place, an entire scene often had to be repeated. The source describes long production days during which actors, dancers, and crew members remained focused despite physical exhaustion. Jaafar Jackson, in particular, faced the demanding task of performing emotionally intense scenes while also executing technically challenging choreography under repeated takes. The transcript suggests that maintaining consistency across these extended filming sessions required extraordinary concentration from everyone involved. Even when unexpected problems interrupted production, the cast and crew remained committed to preserving the film's authenticity rather than rushing through difficult scenes. Looking back, the transcript argues that these hidden challenges reveal the remarkable dedication behind the production. Viewers may only experience a few minutes of finished footage, but those moments often represent weeks of preparation and collaboration. According to the source, overcoming these obstacles strengthened the production rather than slowing it down. Every challenge solved, every scene perfected, and every rehearsal completed brought the team closer to honoring Michael Jackson's extraordinary legacy with the respect it deserved. The documentary suggests that these unseen efforts are part of what makes the film so highly anticipated. Behind every completed sequence lies a story of persistence, craftsmanship, and teamwork that audiences rarely witness. As the documentary moves toward its conclusion, attention shifts from the challenges themselves to the growing reaction of those who have already seen portions of the film. In the next chapter, we explore why so many people believe this biopic feels unlike any musical film that has come before it.